Okay, sound test. So yeah, I'm doing this TOEFL IBT emulation things, mock testing. This is just a thing, and uh, yeah, this is how thing goes. So yeah, groundwater. Groundwater, the word used to describe water to saturate. I know the word saturate, but this kind of last what it means. Is it going to the same place? Saturate. Oh, it's a. Oh yeah. It's a saturate. Yes, that's what a saturate means. I know the saturate is a. When it goes to the picture, it'll be saturate rate. Saturation. I know what that means though. But it's still gonna accumulate that kind of thing. I'm still not that used to it, and so yeah. By far, the most abundant type of groundwater is a meteoric. It's meteoric water. This is the groundwater that circulates as a part of the water cycle. Ordinary meteoric water is water that has soaked into the ground from the surface, from precipitation, rain and snow, and from lakes and streams. There it remains sometimes for long periods before emerge. It's a emerge it's a actually I could just use it, but it will be faster. Emerge. Oh, the first is a emerge. That'll be. I just don't like that thing. It can be a little bit smaller. Here we go. Oh, why the hell it goes like this? There we go. Okay, so there remains sometimes a long period for emergent surface again. The first is, though it seems incredible that there can be enough space in the solid ground underfoot to hold all this water. The necessary space is there, however, when it forms the commonest spaces are those among the particles, sand grains, and tiny pebbles of loose, unconsolidated sand and gravel. Beds of this material, the sand beneath the soil, are common. They are found whenever a fast river carrying a load of coarse sediment. I probably know what it means though, but I still need to check it out. It's yeah, it's the same meaning that I have thinking about. It's a sediment. I just put it here, and there won't be that for that. Sediment once flowed. For example, as the great ice sheets that covered North America during the last ice age steadily melted away, huge volumes of water flowed from them. The water was always laden with pebbles, gravel, and sand, known as a glacial outwash. Glacial outwash. Kind of curious about that. What did that mean? Okay. Glacial. It's a. Actually, I don't have so much vocabulary basis. Why is keeping continue like that? It's probably just a. Here we go. It's adjective. Okay. Outwash. I got so much things. I got lots of bugs. Here we go. There's not such a thing. There was that was deposited as the flow slowed down. The same thing happens to this day, though on smaller scale. Whenever sediment-laden rivers stream emerges from the mountain valley onto relatively flat land, dropping its load at the current slows, the water usually spreads out fan-wise, depositing the sediments in the form of a smooth fan-shaped slope. Sediments are also dropped over a river sloughs or on entering a lake or the sea. The deposited sediments on the lake floor or on the sea floor at first, but will be located inland at some future date. When the sea level falls on the land rise, such as beds and sometimes solid no matter thick. In lowland country, almost any spot on the ground may overlie what was once in the bed of the river that has things become buried by soil. If they are now below the water supply surface, the water table, the gravels and sands of the former riverbed and its sandbars will be saturated with groundwater. So much for unconsolidated sediments. Consolidated or cemented sediments too contain millions of minutes water holding pores. Because we are doing it specifically, so yeah, pore. Okay, pore. Dang it. My computer is running slow. Pore. So just hold on your skin. Yeah. This is because the gaps among the original grains are often not totally plugged with the cementing chemicals. Also, part of the original grains may become dissolved by percolating. Either while consolidation is taking place at any time afterwards, the result in the sandstone. I was thinking about standalone. Sandstone, for example, can be as porous. Okay. It's just still saturatable. Porous, as the loose sand form which it was formed. The proportion of empty space in a rock is known as its porosity. I think it's the same thing related to the porous. So the porosity. But note that porosity is not the same as the permeability. What's that mean? There's another thing. Let's check on our Apple things. Oxford Dictionary. It'll be helped. Permeability. Okay. There's always something related to water, which measures the ease with which water can flow through a material. This depends on the size of the individual cavities. Cavity is it? Shall I just? Is a cavity? Oh, the cavity. And the crevices. Any meaning? No. Much of the water is a sample of water-saturated sediments of a rock will drain from it if the sample is put in the suitable dry place. But some okay. Oh, I lost it. Drain from if the sample is put in a suitable dry place, but some will remain clinging to all solid surfaces. It's held there by the force of surface tension, without which water would drain instantly from any wet surface, leaving it totally dry. The total volume of water in the saturated sample must therefore be thought as consisting of water that can and water that cannot drain away. The relative amount of these two kinds of water varies greatly from one kind of rock or sediments to another, even though their porosities may be the same. What happens depends on the pore size. If the pores are large, the water in them will drop to have its surface tension to hold and will drain away. But if the pores are small enough, the water will exist as the thin films, too light to overcome the force or surface tension holding them in place. Then the water will be firmly held. We have used 11 minutes and we can continue. This is just a training for reading, for comprehension. Which of the following can be inferred from paragraph 1 about the ground that we walk on? Uh, the following can be inferred from paragraph 1 about the ground that we walk on. It cannot hold rainwater for long periods of time. It prevents most groundwater from circulating. It has the capacity to store large amounts of water. It absorbs most of the water it contains from rivers. Uh, the ground that we walk on, right? Time is matured. The circle is part of the cycle. Was not soaked. The ground from the surface is soaked into the ground from the surface to produce sugar. Is from C or D because it says the. Okay, I first thought it seems incredible that there can be enough space in the solid ground. Enough space, so it has the capacity to do it. Yeah. Next, there's 14 questions. Are you kidding? So much. There's so much. I just never have it enough. The word incredible, unbelievable. You just don't. Yeah, incredible. It's easy. Simple. The word outside in the passage is close to meaning too. Partly, it's not partly. It's hidden. I think it's hidden. The material outside beneath, yet hidden. Next. According to paragraph 2, where is groundwater? I always say underground. Why? I was saying underground. It's groundwater usually found. Where is groundwater usually found? Inside pieces of sand and gravel, on top of beds of rock, in fast rivers that are flowing beneath the soil, in spaces between pieces of sediment. I actually dislike it. Let's do it. Give me space. Are those among the particles, sand grains, and tiny pebbles of loose, unconsolidated sand and gravel? Inside piece of sand is here. In spaces between pieces of sediments. If you ever know the physics and the chemistry, you know the things of how things goes. This is a physics and chemistry thing, so it's essentially just something. I cannot express it in English. It's just very hard. I'm skipping it. Skipping up the essential question that you gotta get. Okay, question 5 of 14. The phrase glacial outwash. I have actually searched about this. It was turned out to be nothing. The glacial. Have I ever tried to? Okay, the water was always laden. My browser's freezing. Okay. The water was always laden with pebbles, gravel, and sand known as glacial outwash. I'm actually having trouble to comprehend if the glacial outwash, which is known as, is what to refer to. It's referring the thing, the whole thing, or pebbles, gravel, the sand, or the water that carry those things. I think it is the thing. I think this whole thing is known as glacial outwash. So it's also it's actually a question about this. What is it referring to? I think it's a I think it's none of them. The fast rivers? No, it's the particles carrying the water from melting glaciers. It's a pebble, gravel, and sand. This is the huge volumes of water created by glacial melting. It's the water. It's focusing on water, which is the glaciers, and the fast rivers. Obviously, is not a thing. I'm in trouble with it. So let's just do it. If I think about it, the most possible answer is the D. So we can do it. I don't give about that. We're fine. And do it next. What's wrong? I pressed the next. I pressed. Let's press it again. It's not showing me the next answer. It's just not showing me the next question. I'm stuck here. Oh, fuck. 4. I'm dead. This is actually interrupting. Let's do it. Okay, I'm back. So 6. Go to question. There's only see the status of answered of not seen. So yeah. Okay. But I need to get back to the answer. But I need to go back to the question. Just the poor internet connection. I'm turning back to pack mode. Go to question. I need to refresh the page if the thing goes not well. I'm going to 6. Go to question. Oh, I need to press the return instead of to go to the question. But next question I was not going to. So this is the problem. I need to go next. Just let me go next. It is still. Oh my goodness. How the thing's gonna be designed for return? Oh, Freaky. Dang it. Why I just cannot go next? I need to go next. No, I'm not having this. Okay, we are next. Question 6 of 14. All the following are mentioned in paragraph 3 as places that sediment-laden rivers can deposit their sediment except. Following are mentioned in paragraph 3 as places that sediment-laden rivers can deposit their sediments except a mountain valley, flatland, a lake floor, the seafloor. The sediment-laden rivers can deposit the sediments except sediment-laden rivers. No, never did this read this. Wherever the sediment-laden river streaming emerging from a mountain. Okay, so here's a thing, depositing the sediment in form of smooth, fan-shaped slope. Smooth, fan-shaped slope, like the The seafloor, probably. The lake floor, no. It's a river slow, where the river slows on entering a lake on sea. So CD is right. Flatland is probably right. A mountain valley is probably not. Because it's a smooth, fan-shaped slope. It's a slope. It's not a valley. The valley is not. So we're gonna choose A. Next. And yeah. And our music's probably gonna stop. I don't know what's going on though. Let's try another. Just play from the beginning. That's just not working. Is it having no response? Oh, frick. Okay. Because my pages are getting crashed. Okay. So. It's so frustrating. Okay. I'll rely. I think it's cover, but I don't know. In lowland country, almost any spot on the ground may overlie what. I just choose cover, whatever. Next. And yeah. So much for in the passage is the closest meaning to. That is enough about. Now let's turn to of greater concern are. This is related to. That's enough for. That's enough about. Isn't it just thinking about? The word plugged. It's a plug. Plugged. You want to plug into the hole. I'm sorry. I think it is filled up. It's a C or D, but I don't think it is soaked through with the cementing chemicals. If it is D, I got nothing with it. Plugged is a physically you plug into the hole, like the USB Type C connectors. You plug a connector to a connector and fill up. I don't think it's soaked. Probably. I just was it floating in or soaked through? I just having no idea. I just go with the fill up. Come on. According to paragraphs 6 and 7, why is basalt, unlike most crystalline forms of rock? Thus, a proportion of the total volume of any sediments, loose or cemented, consists of empty space. Most crystalline rocks are much more solid. A common exception is basalt, a form of solidified volcanic lava, which is sometimes full of tiny bubbles that makes it very porous. So this is it's a basalt or basalt, whatever it is. It's a this thing is a crystalline rock, and but it's not solid. It's a liquid probably. It's liquid or aquamine, which is sometimes full of tiny bubble that makes it very porous. The proportion. It's unusually solid. No. It often has high porosity. It has a low proportion of empty spaces. It's rated 7 paragraph. The proportion of empty spaces in rock. porosity, but note that porosity is not the same as permeability, or stay different, which measure the ease of which water can flow through a material. Okay, that this depends on the size of the individual's cavities. So porosity often have high porosity. Okay. What is the main purpose of paragraph 7? The proportion of empty space in a rock is known as its porosity. To distinguish between two related properties of a rock, to point out that a rock cannot be both porous or permeable. To explain why, to emphasize is D. And which of the sentences below best expresses the essential information that highlighted in the sentence in the passage? Incorrect choices. Change the meaning in important ways or leave out essential information. So yeah. Incorrect. Change the meaning in important ways or leave out essential information. Just okay. If the pores are large, the water in them will resist as drop too heavy for surface tension to hold, and it will drain away. But if the pores are small enough, the water in them will exist as thin films too light to overcome the force of surface tension, holding them in place. Then the water will be firmly held. I didn't understand what it means. Just didn't through my head. I just didn't get it. If the pores are large, the water in them will exist as a drop too heavy for surface tension to hold. Okay. And it will drain away. Okay. But if the pores are small enough, the water in them will exist as thin films too light to overcome them. Oh, I know what it means. Oh, yeah. I know. I understand it. I understood it. Surface tension is not strong enough to retain drops of water in rocks with large pores, but it is strong enough to hold on to a thin films on water in rocks with small pores. I think that's right. Water in rocks is held in place by large pores and drained away from small sized pores. This is incorrect. Small pores and large pores both interact with the surface tension to determine whether a rock will hold water as heavy drop. The heavy drop won't be held by the rock, so C is wrong. If the force of surface tension is too weak to hold water in place as heavy drops, the water will continue to be held firmly in place as a thin film. If the force of surface tension is too weak to hold water in place as see, it's so freaking distracting. If the force of surface tension is too weak, it's A. I cannot read it with the background noise. Okay, look at the four scores that indicates where the fall. Okay, what then determines what proportion of the water stays and what proportion drain away? Okay, what then determines what proportion of the water stays and what proportion drain away? It's not here. It's not the first place absolutely because there was a but. There'll be twig. But some will remain clinging to all solid surfaces. It's not here, I think. I don't think it is. So just C. That's right. Drain away. So it's whether C or D. The C and D choices. What then determines the proportion? It's a D. Because the next paragraph is the explanation. So next. The last one. We're gonna choose 3 answers. And I don't want to view the test again. So just do it blindly. And I don't actually know if I could choose the right one because I don't have confidence in this question. I just don't have. Okay, so the choices are sediments that hold water were spread by glacier and are still spread by river and streams. I don't know. The set of saturated rocks pores determines how much water. The size of a saturated rock's pores. This, the A, B, C, D, E, the E or the C, I don't know. It's probably this way. The E, it's absolutely wrong. It's not like sandstone. The sandstone, it's a crystalline rock, but it's not porous. So this is incorrect. Beds of unconsolidated sediments are typically located at inland site that was water. I don't know. Groundwater often remains underground for a long time before it emerges again. I don't know. Water is stored underground in beds of loose sand and gravel, or in cemented sediment. In the gravels. Is not stored in this, so this is untrue. So there's a 4 to go. How can I choose the? I need to drag them? Okay. I thought my browser wasn't support that. I just don't know if it is right, but I don't give a dang about everything, so just go. Let's do it. What's the answer? Is it correct? No! I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I can live up with it. So what's the answer? The answer is ABC. I only got the one choice wrong. Okay. So this is today's live. This is today's broadcast. Only broadcast for like 40 minutes, 31 minutes, 35 seconds. There's how it goes. And tomorrow is not tomorrow. It's the day. You can see the schedule here, and I will have a live, and we will have a mock examination of English that held by our district and everything like that. And here's the thing. And it will be like writing things and listening. There will be 2 parts, and there will be broadcast at the time. So today is the thing. We'll stop here and see you next day. Okay. So actually, we're gonna review about this. Why I'm wrong. So I don't know. Okay, just here. So we stopped here. We stopped. Let's go to the YouTube Studio YouTube. And with that, we stop. Goodbye.